What is the most effective anti-aging product out there? Now that's a trick question. You know, a lot of you are plugging in these questions in the chat box, but this one caught my eye because I'm like, I don't know, like a product, it just sounds kind of like, oh, I've got this multi-level marketing. And if you think about what the best product is, it comes down to you having a body operation system. And so what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you that this is not a trick question. There's actually very scientific ways that you can use peptides in stem cell therapy to rejuvenate your body and reverse age. So by the end of this video, you'll unlock the secrets to the best anti-aging products out there to get yourself younger and healthier. I love the fact that you asked, Regan, what are the best anti-aging products out there? Now, I think there's so many different things, and it's really challenging to say just this one thing. So what I'm gonna do is give you a framework of thinking. And this framework can literally change your whole biology if you follow it appropriately. Because if you think about it, every single one of us, yes, we're very similar, but we all have different DNA. And in any biological system, the inputs can be the same, but the outputs can be different. So you can take epitalin, for example, a great peptide. I've got a whole video on it, on what it does in your body and how it may be the best anti-aging peptide out there. But the other thing you want to look at is this output. Some people may not respond as well as others. And this is the real key, because if you look at your body as an operating system, just like you look at any operating system in the environment, in your business, in government, in your household, these operating systems require feedback loops. And the feedback loops are what inform you to what the best product is. So I'm going to tell you my top items that I love doing to help maximize vitality and youthfulness. And I'm going to show you how we get our clients on average 10 years younger biologically than you are chronologically. And if you're one of my clients, you know this is true. And we have a 95% success rate in getting people here. So the very first thing you want to look at are peptides. Because why peptides, Regan? Well, I've been obsessed with finding the medicine that can yield the highest level of results with the least amount of downside. And that's where peptides come into play. Peptides naturally occur in the body. They're just protein structures that turn on genes. They remind our bodies how to metabolize appropriately, how to detox, how to build muscle, how to clear out old cells called autophagy, and also how to heal up the leaky gut. What I found is using peptides like BPC 157, you're going to recover better. And if you think of recovery, and if you're looking at your body operation system, you think, okay, muscles, brain, heart, just think of that axis to begin with. Why do I need recovery for my muscles? And how does recovery work? Well, when you're stressing your muscles, the muscles get torn down. And that you got to tear things down to build them up. But it's not when we're working our muscles that our muscles improve. It's not like you're in the gym getting stronger all the time. It's actually when you sleep at night. That's when the recovery happens. And so BPC 157 is a beautiful peptide because it helps activate what's called VEGF. And these are vascular endothelial growth factors. It also helps activate nitric oxide, so you get better vascular dilation and better cell signaling through the gas nitric oxide. The other interesting peptide that we use is thymosin beta-4. And thymosin beta-4 activates your body's own stem cells. So these two peptides are actually really darn important when it comes to overall recovery. And then you can work on the growth hormone pathway with a peptide called CJC1295. And I like to combine it with ipamorelin so that I don't get hungry. But CJC1295, it does cause a little bit of flushing, so be careful. But it's a phenomenal peptide for those of you who want to have a little bit of recovery boost and a lot of rejuvenation. So one of you asked, what about stem cells? Well, stem cells are phenomenal. And if you look at the research, one of the most important ways of reversing aging is figuring out how you can maximize your stem cell proliferation. So one of my friends, Howard Lionheart, he's got Lionheart Technologies. I think he's got like 700 patents. I mean, he's a genius. And he uncovered this klotho protein. And klotho expression is directly proportional to the expression of stem cells. And so he's learned ways to express clotho-proteins. We also found that by using umbilical cord stem cells, we can activate your body's own stem cell population. Now, these stem cells, when you have them injected or infused, or when I treat my brain, these stem cells, they just turn on signals in your body so that your body can actually start to heal. And that is one way that we found that we can start reversing age. I had one of my clients, and he'd been to all the longevity doctors, been working on his aging process for about 10 years because he's got really ambitious longevity goals. And it wasn't until he had stem cells that he was able to take his biological age, which was always about 3 or 4 years older than him, and able to reverse it by almost 15 years using the glycan age to test it. So stem cells can be incredibly impactful. What about lifestyle? So, okay, here's the thing that moves the needle with lifestyle. We could talk about this all day long, but the thing that we've seen helps reverse age the fastest is when you get plenty of exercise, you stay hydrated, and you get great sleep. Feels so basic, but if you think of all the distractions out there, these foundational pieces become the rock bed for your longevity pursuits. One of you asked, okay, what about cold plunging? Well, you know I'm a big fan of cold plunging, but unfortunately the research doesn't really show that like by having a lot of cold exposure, you're going to live longer. And some of you who are really zealous and overachievers, hypothermia is real. So I had a client yesterday and he's got Raynaud's because of cold exposure when he was in the military, in the Army Rangers. And so, yes, it's a real thing, but you gotta be careful and you wanna cycle your cold exposure based on your thyroid function and your immune health, but maybe 11 minutes out of the week, a couple minutes every day, could do you a lot of good when it comes to cold, but not necessarily something that we would put as like a top therapy for age reversal. Okay, so cord plasma. So if you think of your blood, and there's all these cool studies on parabiosis where you stitched old mice to a young mouse, and this research was done. They wanted to see what would happen if you just combine the blood. And the researchers were shocked to find out that the old mouse actually became young by using the blood of the young mouse. So I'm not advocating that, and I know that there's people out there who use blood from young donors. There's some safety risks, ethical risks there. But what we found is that plasma from the umbilical cord has the same properties as young blood. And if you think about it, that plasma, it has all these growth factors, these anti-inflammatory cytokines. It's loaded with peptides, close to 200 different peptides just in the cord plasma. And this is a very simple procedure where in the research they took participants, all of the age of 75 was the average, and in these participants they did 1 cc of concentrated cord plasma, and they did injections once a week for 10 weeks. And before the patient started this injection, they looked at all 82 biometrics that related to aging or frailty, so they did physical assessments. And at the end of the 10 weeks, when they revealed the numbers, not only did they have better kidney function, cardiovascular function, liver function, their inflammatory markers were lower, and they even looked at the grim age from before to after, and they were actually able to extend the year. They were able to decrease aging by 6 weeks out of every year. That's substantial. And then their frailty markers all improved as well. And in the study, the treatment was very well tolerated. We've done this hundreds of times, and we've seen our clients have better sleep. They've noticed that their pain goes away. They've also noticed that, we had one of our clients who gets these rheumatoid arthritis flare-ups. They found that the flare-ups went away again because of the lowering of inflammation. So these are my top anti-aging products per se, based on what you guys are asking me. But just think of, first thing you want to do is look at your body and let's do an assessment. So everything in the Ageless Future Operating System, get clarity. Where do you want to go? We want to get you 10 years younger biologically than you are chronologically, as fast as possible. The second thing is diagnose. So get your VO2 max. Come into the office. We can put you on the stationary bike. We'll put the VO2 max on you, or you can get on the treadmill, and let's get your chronological age versus biological age from a VO2 max perspective. We'll do the neuro catch so we can see just how healthy your brain is. And then we'll run you through the Fitness 50 at age 100 benchmarks so we can see how healthy your muscles are. And that's how we can do your ageless matrix and put together the right anti-aging products for you. So if you love this video, make sure you don't share it with anyone so that you just look younger and you have this little secret that we keep between us. But if you like this video, you may also want to go watch my video on Ozempic, and I'm going to show you the best peptides to use with Ozempic so that you do it the right way.